Listening to my parents and grandparents talk about my childhood, I often hear about my obsession with books. My mother has told me that before I could walk, I would surround myself with books, literally, and I would sit in the middle of all of them, opening and reading them one by one. My love for reading continued to grow with me. As a toddler, my favorite book was Llama Llama Red Pajama. My grandmother talks about how she would have to read it to me every day. When I was about 2, my father purchased the Dr. Seuss collection for me, as well as the Little Golden Book collection. Thinking back, these books bring back so many memories. I remember taking them along with me in the car, or playing school with them with my younger cousins. Upon entering school, my fondness of reading still remained. I remember always wanting to read out loud for my teachers, to show them how well I thought I could read. I was so proud of myself. As I got into junior high, I started reading book series. My favorite author was Lurleen McDaniel. By the time I was in 8th grade, I had read every one of her books. I could read an entire chapter book in one day. I was addicted to words. Throughout high school, I took advanced English classes, and my love for literature grew so much. I found myself reading more and more. Then college came, and there was no time for reading for pleasure. It was all about reading materials for classes and lesson planning. After college, I began to read again. I developed a love for Emily Giffen's novels. I have read all but 2 of her novels so far. While I was pregnant with my daughter, my mother-in-law gave me a book by Debbie Macomber. It was the first book in her Cedar Cove series. Throughout my pregnancy, I didn't really have the energy to do much else, so I read a lot. I read all but the last 4 of her novels. Now that we have a little one running around the house, pretty much all of the reading materials are pop-up books or plastic books that are not only good for reading, but even better for chewing. Most of my reading is with my daughter. Interestingly, she has a love for books very similar to what my parents described me as having. We are reading Sesame Street Colors, Shapes, and Numbers, and I have to admit I love every minute of it. At night, after mommy duties are taken care of and my husband and daughter are asleep, I try to squeeze in a few minutes of reading time. I am currently reading Nicholas Sparks' The Lucky One. So far, I have gotten to the 3rd chapter, and it's been a week. Even though I don't have much time for reading anymore, my love for it has not slowed down. There's nothing more relaxing than curling up with a good book that you just can't put down. I hope that as my daughter grows, we can instill in her the value of reading and what an amazing thing it is. In the meantime, I will continue to fill her bookshelf with the great classics and cherish the moments that I get to read to her.